already know who it is. It's your boy, Court Ware, reporting to you live from Irving, Texas. I'm here to give y'all my top 10 albums of 2025. This year, I'll admit, I wasn't super on the new releases, so my list will probably change in coming years. But nonetheless, these are some serious recommendations. I narrowed it down to top 10, so I'm not giving you bullshit. They're all records that I love and all must listens if you want to stay up to date with the new releases of 2025. Let's get into it. Kicking off our list at the number 10 spot is Phonetics On and On by the band Horse Girl. This is a Chicago trio who I think they're on their second album, but this is a really simple and cute album. I would recommend it to pretty much anybody, even some your mom could listen to this one. There's a ton of hits on there. I really love the first song, Where'd You Go? It brings me back to earlier in the year, June, when I was hiking with my dad in Peru. That was my soundtrack for that adventure. So give it a listen and report back. For my number 9, I'm going with the Maryland boy Dijon. He's been killing it this year. He produced that record for Justin Bieber, which was pretty big for him, and then one battle after another he started. No, he didn't star, but he showed up in and did really good as well. He kind of just played himself, it seemed like. He was wearing his outfit from Absolutely. But this is a step up from Absolutely, in my opinion, which is a record that I loved and was a little late to, only really listening to it last year. But this one is way more celebratory. He's celebrating the life of his new child and how much he loves his wife and stuff. Singing is always top tier with Dijon, and on this one he really mixes in a lot of sampling in a way that I haven't really heard before. So I thought it was great. Killer album cover as well. Number 8 was probably the album that I was looking forward to the most this year, with Portrait of My Heart by Spelling. If you talk music with me, you might know that Spelling, her previous album before this one, The Turning Wheel, is my current leader for album of the decade, of the 2020s. I love that record so much. I think she really just knows what to do when it comes to instrumentation. Either she knows or the people in California that she's working with know. It beats me, but anyways, it always sounds so fully formed and so delicately placed as well. So intentional. She just has mastered it. I can tell that she puts so much thought into each of her songs and the lyrics and the songwriting and putting all the instruments together. She just knows what she's doing, and it's pretty cool for an artist she's kind of midway through, but still surpassing all my expectations. And on this Portrait of My Heart, she's entering a new lane, kind of going into more of a rock, stadium rock sort of zone, where she's singing over these heavy guitars on a lot of songs. I think she had the guitarist or something from Turnstile on Alibi, which was one of the singles. And let me tell you, the singles on this album were incredible. Portrait of My Heart, the self-titled song or whatever. Destiny Arrives is a great one as well. That's one of my favorite songs of the year for sure. And then there's also a My Bloody Valentine cover at the end of this album that's very special as well. And she does a great rendition of it. And it really surprised me, actually. I wouldn't have expected a cover, nonetheless, of My Bloody Valentine cover at the end of a Spelling album, for sure. But she makes it work and kind of, I feel like, plays with the themes of the song and kind of makes it her own. And it's really great. She adventures into a new sound, and it doesn't even sound like she's adventuring. It sounds like this is something that she's done before. Next, number 7 is BCNR, Black Country New Road, with Forever How Long. Now, a lot of people had a lot of doubts going into this album because they lost their lead singer, Isaac Wood, who just dropped out of the band, didn't die. But anyways, he's not in the band anymore, so people were like, which he was a main drawing point for a lot of people with Ants From Up There and For the First Time, and definitely a big reason why I loved the band going into it. But I figured that Forever How Long was going to be as good as it is, and it actually ended up being like my #1 album of the year for Spotify Wrapped. And then my 1 and 2 songs were Besties and Happy Birthday, which I didn't expect, but I mean, I do love those songs. I watched the music video probably like 50 times for some reason. But yeah, this album is great. I will say, like, having 3 different vocalists kind of makes it hard to have like thematic cohesion with the album. It feels like sonically and thematically, it goes in a lot of different places here. But I think they did a good job with like the seasonal sectioning of the songs, like making each song kind of play into a different season, go spring, summer, autumn, I almost said December, winter, you know? I think that's what they were planning, or starting out with December with Besties, and it works really well. Each of the girls in the band are such great songwriters already, and each feel fully formed as well, like knowing what kind of music they want to make, especially Georgia Ellery. I mean, she kills it on all of her songs, and she does such a good job on Jockstrap as well, which is one of my current favorite bands as well. I just wanted to hear more from her, honestly, but I'm sure we'll get that with the next Jockstrap release. Not to say that May and Tyler underperformed, I just think Georgia shines really bright. And they go into different lanes, playing things like the mandolin, banjo, and then there's a song where they're all playing the recorder, which is pretty cool. I feel like, you know, a little bit of a parasocial thing going on with the band, and have since 2021 sort of. And it's been fun following them and their musical journey. One of the best UK bands right now, for sure. And whatever album that they make in the future will probably be on my list in the future. So just expect that. Next up is one of the most underrated albums of the year. Definitely the most underrated rap project of the year. And that's JID, God Does Like Ugly. I really don't get why this passed by so many rap fans. Like, it's seriously such a good album. Basically, people have issues with the middle part of the album where it starts to get more melodic and stuff, but I think a lot of those songs are kind of bangers. I understand maybe not the Don Toliver song, but Wholeheartedly, Skate Town, those are amazing songs. Not to mention the end and the beginning of the album are also great. They're more heavy, harder rapping. Like, You Ugly with Westside Gun is like such an incredible way to start your album. And I've been championing this album. I think it's one of the best rap albums this year. My second favorite, and I don't really get why it got so underappreciated. I think it's on that level of Forever Story and a masterpiece. But what can I do? Other than keep glazing my goat, JID. He's kind of had the best discography out of any rapper this decade so far. I mean, with Forever Story and God Does Like Ugly, those are 2 like shining albums of this decade. He's undeniable. People joke that he's like still on the come up, but he's fully formed. I keep saying fully formed this video. People keep saying that he's on the come up, but he arrived like a long time ago. So deal with it, and hopefully whatever next project he releases receives the acclaim it deserves. I don't think this one did. So if you don't like it, go back and try it again. At number 5 is Tropical Fuckstorm, with the weirdest album on this list, Fairyland Codex. You could probably just tell from the album cover that this is like not really an album that you want to listen to, like going into it, unless you're weird, but it is a fantastic album. The playing on this is seriously incredible. I don't know what they're doing down under with this band, but I think it's like 4 people in the band, and I don't know that much about him, and I don't know what any of the lyrics mean. And like, yeah, I don't know, but I like it. That's kind of where I'm at with this album. There's so like pretty much every song on here is pretty good. I like Teeth March a lot. They trade off who's singing on it, with the lead singer is a guy, and then like I guess the girl sings on a few of the tracks. One of the girls sings on a few of the tracks as well. But I like them both. I think they're both nothing like any of the. This band is really nothing like anything out right now, and I think if they keep releasing albums. They've been kind of slow with releasing albums, I feel like, but if they keep releasing albums, hopefully they get like the notoriety of being one of the best rock bands of this decade. But we'll just see. I don't know. It is pretty weird, so I really don't think they're hunting acclaim or care about it. Sad that I didn't get to see them though. They came to Dallas, and I kind of regret not going to that concert. But hey, next time. At number 4 is my favorite band of this decade, with Geese, Getting Killed. I thought a lot about where to place this album because I had so much hype going into the album. Other than Portrait of My Heart, this is probably the most hyped I was for an album this year. I already bought my tickets to see them in like March, whenever the concert was in November. The timeline's probably wrong, but I bought it way early anyway. I kind of knew that the album was going to be good right off the bat, but there were just a few songs that have really become hard skips for me after listening to it a bajillion times. So for that reason, I kind of had to bump it down a few numbers, but it's still fantastic. You've already listened to it. If you haven't listened to the Geese Getting Killed, like, I'm sorry, you're gonna get killed. But in the future, like whenever you're like, oh shit, I shouldn't have skipped getting killed. Now I'm killed. But anyways, it's a good record. They've stepped up in a lot of fronts. I think Cameron's singing has gotten a lot better since 3D Country, and all the playing is fantastic as well. I love on 100 Horses and some of the jammy tracks where they go with those. I think Dom and Emily are doing great. Max as well. He's one of the best drummers out right now. Yeah, 100 Horses, Islands of Men, those are my songs. Getting Killed, the title track as well. I love those. But yeah, Long Island City, Here I Come, Bow Down. I don't love them. Half Real as well. I don't fully love those tracks. I think they could have ended the album with Taxes, and I would have been cool with that. I'm not gonna go too far into each individual track though, because it's an album video. But yeah, Geese, they're bringing rock back, I guess, indie rock back, and Cameron Winter, they're getting so big. So I'm glad I was early to them. I get to brag about that. But yeah, go Geese, go. At number 3 is the hands down rap album of the year, with Clip's Let God Sort 'Em Out. These 3, I'm saying 3 because it's No Malice, Pusha T, and Pharrell Williams. They're all at full form. They're all at Super Saiyan on this. These are some of the best beats that Pharrell's produced. If you want, So Be It for sure is. So Be It maybe being the number 1 song of the year for me. I love it so much. I love Mike Tyson, Blow to the Face, Ace Trumpets. All these songs are so hard. The lyrics are amazing across the board. It's very personal on tracks like Birds Don't Sing, and really just fits hip-hop right now. Like, they couldn't have come up with a better time to release this. I feel like with what Kendrick was doing with GNX, it really plays into this sound. And brings back like originality and just sportsmanship, I think, in hip hop. And I've loved it so much. I've listened to it a billion times. I think, Fantano, honestly, I kind of expected a 10 a little bit, not gonna lie. I kind of thought he might give it to him. But yeah, this is an undeniable God tier album. So, yeah. At number two is also one of the most underrated albums of the year with "Fuck You, Skrillex." You think you're Andy Warhol, but you're not, by Skrillex. This album is so cool. It's like a boiler room set in just an album format, which I don't think I've heard before. It probably existed somewhere before, but nobody popular has done something like this, which is so weird. Like, I think it works so well. I hope more people start making albums like this. I think the Nina Geraci album was kind of like that too, like where all the songs just play into each other like that. But I like how it's MC'd. It really feels like a live DJ set that you're witnessing, except it's really far from that because he's been working on it for like 12 years or something. In some ways, like some songs and some samples or whatever are from 12 years ago, I think, 2013 or something. But yeah, there's so many funny moments on here and hard songs. I love Andy. I love D&B Ting. I don't know. It's hard to really say what like your favorite songs are because they kind of flow into each other. I just listened to the album, but there's not really any dull moments on it. I think it's either you're having a lot of fun or it's really funny. So I didn't expect to love a Skrillex album as much as this, but it blew me away the first time I listened to it, and it still blows me away. And at the number one spot is Jane Remover with Revenge Seekers. This album was a grower for me. I didn't really appreciate it that much. I thought it was kind of annoying at first, but I grew to love it a lot. I think some of my favorite moments from this year were dancing in my living rooms to the songs on here. I love Professional Vengeance. I love Dancing with Your Eyes Closed, JR, 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 Dream Flasher. There's just so many bangers on here. Part of me wants Jane to keep growing as an artist and like exploring new territory sonically, but these songs are just so good. I can't help but want more. It's like taking Rage and like the dance sound that are super popular right now and making it her own, and it's just hard as hell. Each song just like, I don't know, it's so dancey and so like heavy too. And the singing is really good as well. Super catchy, super duper catchy every time. The music videos are really fun. The album cover's dope as hell, and not much else to say about it. Album of the year. She released an EP earlier, like a few weeks ago. That's also super cool. It's just a heart symbol. So if you like that, definitely give that a try. It's sort of like the sound of Revenge Seekers, but more like singy, I guess. Where, I don't know, she's like kind of rapping on some of the songs on Revenge Seekers. I don't really know. But yeah, it's kind of in its own lane, for sure. An album that maybe will go down as a classic in the future. I certainly hope so. But yeah, super fun. I think self-produced entirely, and samples a lot of her own songs as well, which is kind of weird. Like unreleased tracks she samples, and even released tracks I think she goes back and samples too. Yeah, go Jane Remover, album of the year. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.